Yabba Gabba, hey, Drunken Cock fans. This is Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming from the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, and we're here to announce that you have found and stumbled upon our show. We're very happy to have you. If you found this on podcast platforms, you will be sorely disappointed in the magic entertainment. However, the video will be uploaded to YouTube and Facebook. Remember, this show is an adult show, contains adult content. Have fun, stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm, of course, Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming. You've stumbled upon the Drunken Under Quarantine Show Season 2. It's episode 39. It's just us hosts tonight. GW's here. Collen should be here. We're not sure where our island boy is yet, but he should be along. And we got a lot to get into. Plus, we'll have the after show on Rumble if you want to follow us over there. Tonight, we got to talk about the monkey truck. We got to talk about Biden. We're going to talk about Neil Young. Robot umpires, and finally an amazing Babylon Bee commercial for the new M&Ms. But without further ado, we got a lot to get into tonight, so we'll see you on the show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm, of course, Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming. You've found the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. We're on Season 2. It's episode 39. G-Dubs and I are here. Colin should be along shortly, but we'll see. And, yeah, it's been a crazy week. We had an amazing show on Saturday at the club that was phenomenal that both G-Dubs and I will probably both talk about. I had a blast. I'm hoping he did, too. We had some great comics up, and I apologize for pronouncing MC Lightsey and Boris Hyken's names so improperly last week. So there's my pre-apology. I got that out of the way. Without further ado, let's get to the show. We got Mr. GW Foley with me, welcoming to our spotlight stage, my friend, my boy, my comrade, Mr. GW Foley. G-Dubs.
What's up, motherfuckers? It is Wednesday night.
Woo!
Kind of quiet because there's people around and I don't want them to get scared. But I got the alert on the phone. We're live on the YouTubes. Life is good. Life is great. Life is cold. I went outside for a cigarette today. I know. I said I was quitting. I'm trying to. Don't lecture me, Mom. But I froze my dick off. I now officially have a vagina. And, it's awful. After moving back from Minnesota, I can't stand the cold. I used to be the asshole that would go out and wear shorts in the wintertime in -degree weather and be fine with it. I used to be that asshole. Now, if I go out in anything less than long johns and a full parka, I'm totally freezing. I just don't know. I've been looking for vehicles lately, and that is awful. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been inflation going on. Little inflation, not much, but a little, and fucking $22,000 for a vehicle with almost 150,000 miles on it.
That's crazy.
And here's my problem. I could get something small and be suitable for a little while. But I know I won't be comfortable because I'm a fat ass. I am a large gentleman, and I can't see myself in a Kia. Literally, I don't see myself fitting in a fucking Kia. I've been in a Soul before, and I felt very claustrophobic. Luckily, I wasn't in the back seat where I would just be stuck. We got in a fucking car wreck. They'd have to fucking jostle me out. Um, like I want a truck. I want something with a little bit of nut. I want to be able to hang truck nuts off of my vehicle. Like fucking go mudding. Like I probably wouldn't take my truck mudding, but it'd be nice to have the option to. Like I want a mall crawler. I want something that looks like it's gonna be like fucking off-road ready. Like I could go and climb a mountain right off the dealership parking lot. That's what I want. I want fucking balls. And partially I want that because I travel a lot. And winters are very precarious in Vermont. Like we have really wacky weather sometimes where it can be clear all day and all of a sudden you start going home at 10 o'clock at night and you get fucking 3 feet of snow that came out of nowhere. I mean, I guess some people fucking know, but I don't. It's not like I pay attention to the weather reports. Because those guys are a bunch of fucking lying commies also.
It's fake news.
Fake news. 20 negative 30 wind chill my ass. You're just trying to bolster up money for the elites of the heating fuel oil company. You're gonna stay in.
You take them down, man.
Making us God-fearing Americans who are afraid to go outside the house because it's too cold and freeze our nipples off. That's where I stand. George Bush. What else is going? I started school again last semester, hard semester. So I'm just gonna. I just got my books in, which I decided that when I went to school this semester, when I was like, I'm gonna wait till the last minute to get the books, and I don't know why, and then I forgot all about them. It was 2 days before semester started where I was like, oh shit, my books. So I had to speedy order them. It was supposed to be 2 days. It took 4, where I'm just like, this is a crock of shit. This is bullshit. Like, these should be at least here like on Sunday. Like if Amazon can deliver on Sundays, fucking, I don't know, everyone can. I guess. I had a really great show Saturday night.
Yeah.
It was fun. I got to see some people I haven't seen in a while, which is good. The problem with me was I lost my fucking phone. And you're like, how do you lose your fucking phone? Like, I don't know. It was in my car, and then when I got out of my car, it was gone, and I couldn't find it, which really fucked me up. It's now, phones are so. It's like if I lost my wallet, like how like out of sorts I would be if that happened. And my phone is way more expensive than my wallet. Even though my wallet's cool, it says "bad motherfucker" on it.
Yeah.
What? Come on, that's a fucking awesome wallet. I just yeah. So I was lost. Couldn't record my set, which I like to do. What I like to do afterward is when I'm driving home, I like to listen to my set and see how horrible I was. You know, and tweak things on the way and be like, okay, next time I need to do this better. Maybe I could be a little clearer on this. I have to stop saying and by the ways and what else, which honestly I fucking hate when a comic is up there and goes, oh, what else? It's like, I don't know, motherfucker. You tell us. That's the whole point why you're up there. Like, I get you need that moment to think. Take a drink. Pause for a second. Relax. Fart. Do something. Like you don't necessarily need words coming out of your mouth every second. Those little pauses are good. They add tension. And then when you say something, you release that tension. It's like edging, just verbally. Stroke it, stop. Take a breath. Stroke it. Take a breath. That's all you gotta do. You don't need filler words and sounds. And this is coming from a guy with a fucking stutter. Like I know when I get animated, I have a stutter, and I get that. But fucking Christ, you don't. like I have a fucking excuse to be a shitty comic and say things like that. That's because my fucking mouth isn't working right. My brain's going too fast. What's your problem? That's all I gotta say. Let's turn it over to Collen. See how he's doing, drinking his wine, being all fancy.
Yes.
Oh.
Pinky's
Let's
out.
do the pinky out. That's GW's favorite pinky right there, by the way.
It is. I love it when he rims it.
Good evening, boys. It's great to be here. Favorite day of the week. Catching up with you guys. Thank everybody who's watching at home. I just like to start with a little beef. I want to know, why is it that when I'm in the paper, the picture of me is like this small? And when Hickory's in the paper, the entire half of the page. I mean, does anyone want to explain it? No, great art. I was finally able to pick up the physical copy today. Great picture. Awesome show this past Saturday. Thank you, everyone came out. Sold out house. Standing room only. Really cool. Actually, our first show that we had a comic come in all the way just from Chicago just to do the show. I've seen some pretty crazy things. I used to think the guys from Boston who'd come up and do a show and turn around and leave to Boston were hardcore. And then I saw someone do that from New York who literally did the show and they left at like 11 o'clock at night, Jake Barrera and a bunch of guys. And then they drove back to New York, leaving the club at like 11. But this guy flew in from fucking Chicago, did the show, and flew out.
That's crazy.
Like when you're coming in from the Midwest, when you have passed the Mississippi, like, and you're coming to the Woolen Mill to do a show, it's totally crazy. A lot of fun. I have to say, I just recently had my favorite Joe Biden moment. I don't know about you guys. But finally got a chance to see the Joe Biden I voted for, you know? I'm going, there's my guy. There he is. For those of you who don't know, he was giving a press conference about his meeting in Europe. And he said, the meeting went well, and he was kind of berating the press for not reporting what he says or anybody involved would say. And so after he said that, this guy goes, Mr. President, how do you feel about inflation? Is inflation good for your presidency? And Joe Biden just says like your grandfather would, like, yeah, more inflation. You dumb son of a bitch. Like, there he is. There's the angry old man we all know and love. I don't know if you guys have seen this video that's going around on TikTok.
No.
And it sounds like the song sounds like something from like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And it shows people like traveling and stuff and be like, welcome to the new rich. We don't care what type of car you drive or where you live. We only care about one thing, time. Have you guys seen this?
No.
I wanted to have it pull a Joe Rogan moment and be like, Jamie, can we pull this up? Can I show you guys this?
Yeah.
It's this thing where it shows the idea is that these people are like less materialistic. Welcome to the new rich. My stupid thing. But I'm like cracking up over this. I'm gonna try to quick.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. So let's check this one with the canyon up top. That's maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's perfect. We get some audio on that.
Oh, yep. I don't want to do too much audio, though, because it'll get called.
Or what kind of car you drive. We don't care about those designer brands.
So, yeah, I'm pausing it every couple seconds because we got music that we definitely don't own.
Clearly, the person
We're debt free. What we care about the most is time.
Vacation home.
Yeah, time and experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, time and experiences. Here's the funny thing. I'm getting.
Look at all of them. These are all the new rich videos.
Here's the new rich. We're gonna have to turn it off.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Okay, we're good.
So there it is. So there's the new rich, right? So this girl is sitting outside a vacation property in a hot tub, being like, "This is the new rich," right? And it shows there was one of them being like, "We don't care about your designer brands," and a group of people jump off a yacht into the ocean, which appears to be off the cans, right? And then like, we just care about time, and we care about this. Like, I hate to break it to you who are making these videos, your new rich is the same thing as the old rich. You have enough money to travel, to go on vacation, to apparently not have a job, to buy a fucking $65,000 Sprinter van and pimp it the fuck out. You know, you can't be like, this is the new rich. And it's like, we don't care what type of house you live in. You clearly do. You booked the place with the hot tub, right? With the view, you know? It's like you're sitting there in the Dolomites. Like, this is the new rich. No, bitch, that's the old rich. Okay? The old rich have been going to the Dolomites since we discovered the fucking Dolomites. You know what I mean? This is not a new trend. So I just had to get that out there because that just annoys me so much. It's like no, the new rich would be like some dude who has like a garden in the back. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's the new rich, or like maybe someone who's able to drink their tap water. You know what I mean? But like being like on vacation, like showing like the fact that you spent all of 2021, and 2022 traveling around the world just on vacation, skiing or kayaking or whatever. It's like we don't care about things. We care about experiences. And I'm like, by the way, none of you guys look like you shopped in a thrift store. Right?
Which is an experience.
Which is experience. Yeah. Welcome to the new rich. Did you see that Listen Now is actually doing a boutique section to sell their high-end stuff? So you're going to be able to go in and buy a $1,000 jacket and blah, 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 blah. And that's what's always been great about thrifting in the Upper Valley, right? Is all the affluents that buy shit and they never even use it, so it just ends up as Listen. Like here, like the amount of access to capital in like the Upper Valley from Dartmouth and yada yada yada. Like you can go to the thrift stores here and you can see brand new clothes all day long that are all expensive. You know what I mean? Like, how's that for the new rich? Like they're not doing anything as like definably poor. You know what I mean? It's not like you're doing anything like, hey, I'm counting cans. This is the new rich. Like, you know? Fuck these people. I recently injured my shoulder snowboarding about 3 weeks ago, and I don't take any type of pills really, which for those of you at home might surprise you. Collen is strictly anti-drug, sans the drugs that come from the earth. You know, heroin, cocaine, shrooms, marijuana. You know, basically everything but Molly and LSD. You know? No, I don't like painkillers. Because I think that they're too easy to like form a habit in, and with the amount of coffee I drink, the amount of wine I drink, I'm afraid I'm just gonna have a hole in my stomach if I put in the equation like taking copious amounts of painkillers as well. But anytime I get hurt, people always say, take painkillers. And I was in a lot of pain. My cousin said, why don't you try to leave noxaproxen? And I'd never really taken a leave. I took it, and big surprise, it works. Okay, works wonderfully. But I don't know if you guys remember the commercial when like Aleve came out, because I remember when Aleve came out. Like you had Bayer, aspirin, like Advil, Tylenol. Like we had 4 options as kids. You know what I mean? We didn't have Aleve. We didn't have all this other shit. You know, we didn't have Oxycontin. We didn't have anything. You know, they just give you a bunch of Advil.
Yeah.
And the commercials used to be like, I just took 2 Aleves, and the person would like put their hand out and it'd be like 2 Aleves, and they'd be like, I'd have to take this many Advil for that, and it'd be like 15 to 20 Advil in like one hand, right? And as a kid, that always freaked me out. I'd be like, if the comparison is like I had to have 20 of something to have one, that's probably not like healthy for you. Like they just released a vape pen that like hitting it is the equivalent of smoking 10 cigarettes at once. Like a packet of cigarettes, 20. And if you're smoking a pack a day, that's a fair amount of cigarettes to be smoking in a day, let alone 10 cigarettes in one drag. Like that's like Sandlot amount of nicotine, you know? So I feel like we're going to be a little bit smarter on how they do that. There's X Games coming up or something like that I saw that there's this big thing that it's going to be the first paraplegic to hit this massive big air ski jump. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of these paralyzed athletes that are trying to do this big air and stunt competitions and stuff. But they're strapped to a wheelchair basically, and I've seen guys try to do backflips on wheelchairs and half pipes and hit their head. Seen guys try to do this on skis. And every time I see a paraplegic try to hit a massive jump and do a backflip or a front flip, I always think, what are you trying to do? Become a quadriplegic? Like, what is the point here? You're going to strap something to your body as you're paralyzed and then launch on a jump and land on your head. Like, wouldn't you think at a certain point you'd be like, I should probably mitigate risk seeing how I'm down 50% of my limbs? You know what I mean? Like, why am I going to go hit a fucking half pipe in a wheelchair? Like, does that make any sense at all? And I'm not trying to be whatever you call that, like
ableist,
anti accessibility or something like that. Like, don't worry, we built a ramp for you to be able to get into that half pipe. Like, what? Like, what are you thinking? Like, and every time I see this, I'm just like thinking this would be like the most tragic thing ever, where the dude in a wheelchair like breaks his fucking neck. You know what I mean? Where you're like why? Like, at what point are you saying like? And this guy's going big air, which big air is like 300-400 feet. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's about to send it, like in a way that like if he fucks up, he's done. You know? So, you know, drink more Red Bull, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah. I had something else I wanted to talk about, but can't really remember. That's always fun. Here's to GW's point, doing a set. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? How you doing out there, folks? Great. No, that's pretty much it for me. I just want to thank everyone again for coming out this weekend, and thanks for being on the program here tonight. I'd like to kick it over to the reason we all get together every week. Guy who's got this big ass fucking picture in the newspaper. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming.
Thank you, gents, for being here. Happy Wednesday, my friends. It's good to see you guys. I hope you guys had as much fun at the show on Saturday as I did. It was a blast, and I've said it once, and this will be the last time I say it. Apologizing to MC Lightsey and Boris Hyken for pronouncing their names wrong so many times last week. Yep, that's it. I'm done. It's over.
You called Julia Mrs.
Oh, yeah, that was bad. And I knew the second I walked off that stage, too. It was like, literally, I walked backstage and I looked at MC and I was like, I should have said miss. And he looked at me like, yeah. Like, you know, like, oh. And that was her first line. Was about me calling her miss. Oh, like, damn it. I'm usually pretty good at that. I have an innate ability working in retail to call 70-year-old women miss. And yep, nope, it just rolled off the tongue. But you know, what do you expect from a drunk magician? You know, he can't be can't be asking for too much, right?
Well, frankly, I was underwhelmed.
That was that's what I aimed to do. But yeah, no, it was a fun show. Yeah, Julia was great. It was Julia Colasante was there, and Matt Vita was awesome. Also, shout out to Matt's music video. Came out this past week. It's called Covo, right? Covo, Covo, and you guys should go check that out because that shit's hilarious. We had some awesome comments coming in earlier. We got Jeremy Wengard saying quitting is crazy hard, referring to quitting smoking. Yes, it was. Nick Waters says, good evening tickets. And then he corrects himself and says, fuckers. Jonathan.
I like tickets.
Yeah, me too. That's a great little good evening tickets.
What up, my tickets?
Fuckers. Jonathan Altman said, just got a Chevy Trail Boss. It's rated 6 out of 10 and under trails. Rated for 6 out of 10 and under trails. If you want more, get a Raptor. Isn't the Raptor just a really fast truck? I didn't know. Is that one an off-road one too?
It's off-road rated, but it's also like fucking $90,000.
Yeah, and it's like
MSRP.
That's like way too fucking fast.
All dealerships are doing like markups from the MSRP. Like some of them are like 20, 30 grand markups. So you're looking at like $120,000 pickup truck.
Oh wow. Jason said, "What's up, folks?" I don't know, Jason. What's up with you?
He meant tickers.
Yeah, he meant tickets. Tickets was
Tickets.
the tickets.
You should be
Can I
called
go?
TWA.
Go this camera. Okay, G-Dubs, I'm gonna riffle through. You just say stop whenever you'd like, good sir.
Stop.
Okay, right out there.
Well, yeah, that's my card.
Yeah, we're gonna sing an Ace of Diamonds, and now since G-Dubs picked the card, Colin, I'm gonna ask you for a name.
Damn, how about Molly?
Oh, that's a good one. Does she have a last initial or just Molly?
How about Molly D?
Ooh.
Molly D. That sounds sexy.
Doesn't that? That's actually was my burlesque name.
Molly D?
Yeah, that's some more. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. I'm going to show you guys a quick little thing about this thing called identity theft. It works like this.
Ah!
And now we have a Hickory TDU card. As that's fun. And we have a deck that is absent of any Molly D cards. So that's a fun little trick I like to call identity theft. I just came up with that. It's short and fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a fun little like random. Oh, the other cool thing I had to say, and Marcy's not here, so I might have to show it again, is I did get my Harry Potter Lego wand finished. The parts finally showed up, and this thing is pretty nice addition to the collection of wands. There's way too many parts in this thing, though. Like, just the interior construction of the handle, and this part is like 15 parts each in the middle that you don't ever see. That just seems like they could have been, I don't know, easier blocks to do. I don't know. But yeah, there was a ton of parts. But big thanks to the brother-in-law who got me this for Christmas, and it came in missing a few Lego parts. 6 of them, to be precise. And they just showed up the other day. Like, for whatever reason, they were on the invoice, they were marked as there, and they weren't there. And then he checked and then ordered new ones, and the ones that were supposed to be with it showed up. So I could finish my wand. And yeah, it's pretty nifty. Not that I'm a big pothead or anything, but I do enjoy me a nice wand.
And we do hate a muggle, don't we?
Not always. I'm kind of married to one, so I got it kind of nice. All my magician friends
never work out.
My magician friends call me a muggle fucker.
I just want so desperately to be a Slytherin, and nobody thinks I have it in me. They're all like, you're a Hufflepuff. I want to be Slytherin. Okay.
But that's pretty much all I got. So let's kick it over to the regular part. You guys ready?
Let's get jarring.
It's the jarring. Sorry, wrong one. This is the jarring. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back. Oh, boom. And it was fixed. And we got AOC on screen with us. Because why not? It's
There's my
Wednesday
girl.
night. That's right. Yeah, and I like when the lady's crying, so that makes me happy.
Absolutely.
Lap dance is so much.
They look pretty
better
when they
than
cry.
the strippers.
Oh, I forgot about that. Jesus, Bloodhound Gang's awesome. Can you imagine how canceled those guys would be if they came out today?
Yeah.
Like all their songs were just like overtly sexual and raunchy and like, yeah, no. Discovery Channel would be people would throw an outrage if somebody put that song out in 2022. Like it's okay because it's been like embedded in nostalgia now, and like people are just like, okay, the times. Especially with that music video, they literally beat up a gay French dude with a baguette in that music video. That was like part of it, and it was like they were making a joke about gay bashing, and they they beat a gay French mime with a baguette.
To be fair, when the song originally came out, because how old were you guys when that song came out?
I don't know. I'd have to like look it up and see when that song was.
Which song
Early
is this?
2000s.
Discovery Channel by the Bloodhound Gang.
Bad Touch.
Oh yeah, the Bad Touch.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so we can do it like they do it on the stuff.
99.
99.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was a senior in high school, and I remember that song getting a shitload of crap for
Okay.
being like offensive and stuff like that, where I was just like, it's a song about butt fucking.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
let's
a funny
relax
song.
here. Yeah.
But without further ado, we're gonna. Oh, sorry, what?
Anyways,
We'll move right into the first topic of the evening. How the drunk is this news? We're gonna make the most painful sport to watch even more painful. I'm sorry if you guys don't agree with me, but I honestly do believe that baseball is the most boring sport to watch. I guess golf is up there too.
They're all pretty boring to me, Hickory.
That's fair. That's highlights are much better. I'm gonna say.
Love
If
a highlight.
If you're gonna watch sports, you might as well just watch highlights.
I like horse betting. Is that a sport?
Well, yeah, yes.
I like that.
Horse racing is definitely a sport. Those jockeys put in a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be tiny and look like you're an underfed 12-year-old while also simultaneously steering 1,000-pound running machine.
That's true.
and confusing every pedophile in a 5-mile radius.
Yep. They're all like, wow, that boy looks good. And he's like,
I'm
my name's Todd. I rode a horse. So here we got from Fox News. They got robot umpires coming to AAA baseball or AAA ball. They mean baseball this year after tryout in lower leagues. This puts the automated ball and strike system (ABS), not the automated brake system, just one level below the major league. So it could be coming there soon, I think, is what the implication is. Oh, we got a comment in. Jason said, most of the cartoons that we watched younger would be banned real quick. Yes, that is very, very true, Jason. As you can tell with Pepe Le Pew and other characters. The fact that they took away Elmer Fudd and what was the Yosemite Sam? Yeah, they took away their guns. He said, "Yeah, golf. Golf is pretty boring. I feel like I fit into the rich club when I'm watching it, though. It gives me that, I care about experiences." And
Yeah,
one of
we're
those.
the new rich. We don't give a shit what type of golf club you have.
That's right. Okay, so here they say robotic umpires that used automated system for determining balls and strike calls will now be used in AAA baseball for the 2022 season, MLB officials announced. This puts the automated ball and strike system, which has seen success after experimental adoption by some ballparks in the minor leagues, just one level below the major leagues. MLB is currently seeking personnel to operate the system at ballparks for the Albuquerque Isotopes, Charlotte Knights, El Paso Chihuahuas. These are real teams. That's amazing. Las Vegas Aviators, the Oklahoma City Dodgers. That's way too close to the Oklahoma City Bombers. I'm just saying. They should pick a different name. The Reno,
They just call themselves the Bombers.
the Reno Aces. That's pretty good, actually. Rock Ground Express, the Sacramento River Cats, Salt Lake Bees, Sugar Lake Skeeters. There's a good one. Sugar Lake Skeeters. And the Tacoma Rainiers. Rainiers. How do you pronounce that? Rainiers?
Yeah.
What's a Rainier?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Again, I just call them the reindeers.
Yes. That's actually a nice little shot here. But they're in focus and the game isn't. They needed it the other way around. The ABS was previously used at most ballparks last season for Low A Southeast League, the 2019 All-Star Game for the Independent Atlantic League, and the Arizona Fall League that same year. The robot umpires do have their drawbacks and bugs, however, and their critics. It would change the game for the good. It would continue the effort to eliminate human deficiency. Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt said in 2019. The AP reported that same year, we have replay everywhere else in the game. Like it or not, replays get the call right. I think it's a little naive to think that simply letting computers generate strike or ball, than Houston Astros manager A.J. Hinch said during the 2019 World Series. It's incredibly naive to think that there's not going to be pitfalls in that scenario as well. And to ask, what do you guys think? I'm honestly surprised we don't have more of this already. Like, it seems like a computer would be way better at telling.
Well, this is the thing, is if you have a computer, it just becomes harder to rig whatever game you're trying to win. You know what I mean?
There's a very good point, sir.
It's like what the football we just saw this past weekend, right? You had 4 games. Every game, right? It was 4 games or was it 2 games? I can't remember. At any rate, every goddamn game that was on this weekend ended up being won, like, either in overtime or within, 10 seconds left of the game. And so they were so close that you had to watch the entire game, to see who won. And a friend of mine was like, do you think that could have been rigged? And I'm like, do you know who the hell you're talking to? Like, do you think that's, like, a professional fucking league that's worth billions of dollars may or may not have, like, manipulated, like, the way it's, like, played to ensure, like, the most amount of, like, views or response or, like, whatever. Like, everything we're doing from Instagram to the news at night is all designed to, like, keep you engaged. So why wouldn't sports be the same way and calculated as such? The other thing is it's like this guy saying, like, computers always get it right or the cameras get it right. Then use the cameras, right? But I am sick and tired of already this shit of, like, getting rid of people expecting a computer to do it better. I fucking can't stand bagging my own groceries. You know what I mean? I can't stand this shit. I go into CVS, I got 9 million fucking things. One of them might be a bottle of wine, so I have to have the guy come over, or whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean? Like, or it's all obnoxious. And it's like slowly, like in Killington now, you have your RFD cards. There used to be a person who checked lift passes. Like, that job's gone. You know what I mean? So what's the future of it? Like, we're not even, like, you don't even have an umpire. You just got, like, Ash Jeeves behind you that's, like, like, calling the game. Fuck that shit.
Well, I guess you'd still have to have base umps, right? Because, like, you're not going to be able to make those calls based on a computer. But I felt like strikes and balls, man, is just such a simple... You know what I mean? That's the part for me, is that, like, I'm like, that call is so simple and so much easier on a screen than it is, like, seeing it in person.
Well, the ball's going 100 miles an hour and it has to be in a box like this, right? And, like, they show that box and that ball very easily, like, on camera, when they add it in. So... it is a good point. Like, why is someone trying to see that with the naked eye,
Yeah. Nick said, did anyone notice that dildo that was thrown out on the field? I didn't. Was there one?
I'm not going to say it was a drunk magician that threw that out there, but it may have been. Yeah,
it's very possible. We're wily. We've been known to do some weird shit for no reason. I don't mean to speak for all drunk magicians, but since I'm probably the only one, I can. It's
So going back to this whole baseball thing, here's a problem with that I'm seeing with it. This past summer, I went to a baseball game, and there was an umpire calling balls and strikes, a human, not an android or a computer, and the opposing team's manager did not like a call that the umpire called. So he went out and had a little discussion with the umpire. that umpire promptly threw him out of the game. Now, that was exciting. There was conflict. There was tension. There was something in the air that it was like, oh my God, this shit's happening. This is real. You're not going to get that with a fucking computerized umpire.
That's true.
And it's going to be all well and good until pitchers can play the game and realize that, like, okay, I can throw this strike by doing this certain thing and totally messing with the camera's optical view.
Could be.
Like you're gonna have plenty of fucking pitchers that can throw it straight, so it looks like it's gonna be called a strike, and then throw it into ball territory, so that there's no way that a pitcher is gonna be able to hit it, but it's gonna be called as a strike.
Okay.
And I see a lot of that in the future, and until they can actually pinpoint the actual trajectory of the ball. But at that point, you're removing all the humanity from the game. Like, and what's going to happen when there's a run to home and a catcher catches the ball, but the runner is sliding in and neck and neck, split second speed to call that person out or not? How is an umpire going to, a robotic umpire going to do that?
This is true. That's a very good point.
Well, I don't know. And then how do you threaten that robotic umpire by saying, I'm going to break your fucking legs if you say I didn't get in?
Yeah.
You know,
That's true. But Jason said it's okay until the robot gets beamed in the head and malfunctions. That's a good point. Nick Waters said, I'll find it. Hold on. Jason said, I love it when the benches clear out for fights. Yeah, that's the best part of the game as far as I'm concerned. Because that's the only part I really want to watch. I'm not going to lie. I just wish, they brought some of those bats out and made it real interesting. And then Sean's here. Welcome, Sean. It's good to see you in the comments, brother. Hope all is all right with you. Said Sean Edry said, assumed American singer-songwriter Neil Young purported to be rocking in the free world. A little confused about the old man with a heart of gold. So it's okay to use a needle and a spoon again? Well played, Sean. And that's going to actually segue us right into the next one where I thought I was being clever. With Keep On Rockin' in the Elite World, Neil Young. A thinking man don't really want you around anyhow. That was my headline for this situation. Colin, have you seen this ridiculousness?
I did. Yeah, Neil Young's stance on Spotify.
Yeah, he demands Spotify remove his music over Joe Rogan's vaccine comments. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Singer says Spotify is spreading fake information about vaccines potentially causing death. Nope, fuck you. I am not paying money. There we go. We got a picture of Neil Young.
Oh,
This looks fairly recent. I don't know.
I mean, it could have been taken any time in the last 40 years. Is what
that's true. Neil Young has demanded that Spotify technology. Oh, they're down 5%. Remove his music due to what he says is vaccine misinformation spread by podcaster Joe Rogan on the streaming service. The folk rock star and his record label were in discussions over the matter Tuesday, according to people familiar with the matter, which are my favorite people in news articles, because that guy, the few people that are familiar with the matter are the sources for most news stories nowadays. It's incredible. That and people close to the president. That seems to be another one. Those people, important people. Mr. Young, whose hit include Heart of Gold and Harvest of Moon, have gained hundreds of millions of plays on Spotify, wrote an open letter to his manager and record label criticizing Mr. Rogan and Spotify. I'm doing this because Spotify is spreading fake information about vaccines, potentially causing death to those who believe the disinformation being spread around them, which is misinformation are not the same thing, sir. He wrote, the letter has been since removed from his website. Mr. Young didn't respond to requests for comments. The letter came in response to the JRE podcast. Yeah, Joe Rogan. Which is fucking crazy how much this dude's been in the news lately, right? Like, the amount of, times Joe Rogan's been trending in the past 2 months is, mind-boggling.
But what's crazy, I mean, he is the most popular podcast on the planet.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Which is crazy. It's just amazing that his success in that. He was an early kind of person to the podcast thing, and he's become an absolute dominant player in it.
as they say, first in and best dressed.
Mm-hmm.
They say the letter came in response to Jerry podcast, which is currently Spotify's most popular podcast and also top Apple's podcasting charts. In 2020, Mr. Rogan signed an exclusive podcasting deal with Spotify worth more than $100 million, according to people familiar with the matter, or articles that you read from that time. That's exactly what they reported.
The letter to shareholders.
With an estimated 11 million listeners per episode, Jerry, which is hosted exclusively on Spotify, is the world's largest podcast and has tremendous influence. Spotify has a responsibility to mitigate the spread of misinformation on its platform. Mr. Young wrote in the letter, I want you to let Spotify know immediately today that I want all my music off their platform. They can have Rogan or Young, but not both. Wow, very heartfelt, sir. While Mr. Young's label Warner Music Group, Warner Records, in this licensor to Spotify and may legally have control over how and where his music is distributed. It is typical for a record company to take an artist's wishes into account. An act of Mr. Young's cachet in particular tends to have more control over their career and creative output. If a decision is reached to remove the music, Spotify could take it down in a matter of hours, according to people familiar with the matter, which seem to be the people referenced in this article the most. I feel like I've said people familiar with the matter more than I have ever before.
At least 3 times.
Yeah, well done, Wall Street Journal. But yeah, basically, and then today, the Associated Press updated an hour ago. Spotify says it will grant Young's request to remove music. Well, that really paid out, Neil Young. Good job.
Yeah, right. Trust me. So now no one who's young is going to know your music, Neil. Good move. That's fine.
Yes. Neil Young's music will be removed from Spotify at his request following the veteran rock star's protest over the streaming service airing popular podcast that features that a figure criticized for spreading COVID misinformation. Spotify, in a statement Wednesday, said that it regretted Young's decision but hopes to welcome him back soon. Because if, he's so principled that he'll be right back. It wasn't immediately clear when his music will actually be taken down. I realized I could not continue to support Spotify's life-threatening misinformation to the music-loving people, Young said in the statement. I like how he's acting like his audience is the same as Rogan's audience.
Well, I mean, yeah, I love the kind of challenge of like, you can take me or Rogan, but you can't have both. It's like, listen, Neil Young, just to bring you up to speed, we paid him $100 million fucking dollars to sign a contract with us. It's slightly more popular than your shit. You know what I'm saying? He's got 11 million daily listeners that listen to, how long is the podcast? Almost 3-4 hours.
Yeah, anywhere from 2 to 4.
Anywhere from 2 to 4. So you have people listening to Joe Rogan 2 to 4 hours a day, and you have people occasionally looking for Heart of Gold, which, by the way, if I never heard Heart of Gold again, I wouldn't fucking be distraught about it. But the thing is that I had to say about Joe Rogan with this is that I'm not a huge Joe Rogan fan. I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan. I think that Joe Rogan does what he does, and he does what he does well. And I think that his brand and who he is, he's built well. And he just recently made a statement about, like, people talking about him with, like, if your choice of getting vaccinated or not vaccinated should not come from Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan doesn't pretend to be a doctor, okay? Nope. He's not coming out and saying, this is PhD, I'm Dr. Rogan, and this is how I feel, okay? He's saying, I'm a dude who smokes weed, is on fucking testosterone supplements, and narrates UFC fighting, okay? He's not coming out as an authoritative figure on, anything science. And what he said was how he felt. And he's paid a lot of money to say how he feels, but that is how he feels. It's not medical proof. It's not something that he's trying to quantify. It's not like he's a fugazi doctor who's coming in and saying, like, do this. This is the thing. He's saying, I don't know. This doesn't make sense. I feel like if you're young and healthy, you might not have to get vaccinated or whatever. And then oftentimes, like, he'll say in his own words, he said, he's like, all the time I talk about shit that I don't know about, like we do here, where we say, like, let's check that, or let's look at that, or is that true, or whatever. But when you're having a conversation, which is like kind of the podcast narrative form, is like to express your own feelings and see how other people feel. Some people feel more like I feel about a subject than Hickory does, than GW does, whatever. But it's us sharing how we feel. and not necessarily like presenting that as like hard facts of like things that you should go ahead and make life decisions about. You know what I mean? So I think it's like funny with like Joe Rogan, you know, the different things that happen to him, and now he's not even anti-vax. He's not an anti-vaxxer too, which is something that people need to realize. Like he's not anti-vax. So it's like where there are some people who are extremely anti-vax. He's not one of them. He takes a number of supplements. He's actually very into different things and wellness and stuff like that. What he was saying was, does this make sense? Does this make sense? Does this seem necessary? Is this necessary? I don't know. Let's look more at it. And then people take that and really look at the fact that he was like some anti-vaxxer, head of the anti-vax movement, saying no one should ever be vaccinated ever, which is not what he said, you know?
Yeah, they act like he's Jenny McCarthy a fucking decade ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
A couple comments. Nick, actually, we'll get to this. I actually wanted to ask the boys about this at some point. I keep forgetting thoughts on the Carhartt drama. Jason said, food and beer needs to come down in prices. When I go to a game, I bring my own beer. I don't blame you, Jason. I agree. Hot dogs at ballparks were expensive 15 years ago. I can't imagine what they cost now. Sean said Joe Rogan is the Walter Cronkite of our time. He also said, sha-na-na-na, na-na-na-na, hey, 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 goodbye.
Is that Neil Young? I don't know.
No, but it sure made my heart feel like it was made of gold. You know, it just warmed it right up. Jason,
feel like an old man.
Jason said Joe is better than Howard Stern. Yeah,
absolutely, 100%. Look at the fucking Howard Stern bought you Beetlejuice, right? And he would bring in people who were like, you know, like insane individuals. You know what I mean? Like Joe Rogan's trying to bring in like respected individuals to show their
like highly respected. He's sat down and interviewed some of the most influential people of our times. And some of the leading scientists in their fields and some of the lead doctors on a lot of projects. Like the one that got him the most amount of shit was bringing on Malone, who, those who don't know, is the PhD who headed the research that developed the mRNA vaccine technology that is now being deployed globally. And that was a big one. Like that dude got banned off everywhere, including Twitter, YouTube, all the major tech sites. Pretty sure you can find him at Rumble, which, speaking of which, in about 10 minutes we'll be headed over there. So if you guys don't have an account, please do sign up over there. There is a lot of great content that's not just political stuff, but it offers a free speech platform for us to get into the weeds on some things. And
I will say I really like Joe Rogan. Matter of fact, you could say I'm pro Rogan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Pro Rogan. That's pretty good. I'd agree, man. I've liked Joe since he was like watching his early stand-up shit. He's always been just a laid-back, cool dude who made sense. He's never like firm about his ideas. He's not, you know, and the funny part is that in the modern media, he gets treated like he's fucking right-wing or something.
Well, you
and
know,
it's like
I've never understood that in the fact that I think a lot of what his brand is, he's actually, in my opinion, very interesting and very unique in the fact that he has like this, you know, from his fighting background and starting out in kickboxing, all this stuff, he has this like seemingly like right-wing kind of like macho kind of quality to him, the man.
Yeah, a bravado.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, when you talk to him, he's like pro-marijuana, more of a hippie, more in like alternative medicine, like more into all this stuff. So I think that was like what's interesting about Joe Rogan is like the way you perceive him to be is not really the way that he is. And that was like kind of the first thing that when I say that I'm not like I don't listen to his podcast every day, or I haven't listened to his podcast really in years. But when his podcast came out and I listened to it, I was shocked by the fact that I was like, man, I thought this dude would not be so on par with the way I felt about things about like alternative medicine and like wellness and like different things like that, where I think that like, if more people listen to what Joe Rogan said and listen to him more, they probably realize like he's kind of he kind of is in the middle in the fact that someone like Tim Dillon, who's more of a conservative comedian. I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know Tim? We should try to get Tim on the program if he would be interested in coming on. He's fucking hilarious. I know he's a super busy guy, but he's been on Rogan a few times now. I've known Tim for a number of years from back in his New York he used to do bus tours, and he would take a microphone and he would just rip on the top of the bus tour and stuff. But he'll have people who might have like, and then the same thing with like Tim though is like Tim's someone who comes off like very conservative and stuff like that, but he's like a gay man who is actually like lived in New York for many years, and it's like some of these guys are harder to pin down than probably the press wants to. And they just want to be able to be like, you believe this and you're this. And when you have people who don't necessarily fit into a box and they're able to have more open ideology of being like, oh, that makes sense. And that makes sense, but that doesn't make sense. And that doesn't make sense. I think that's like a threatening thing for the press because it's like not as easy to just like throw a label on that person. So Joe Rogan's been labeled, but that label that he has probably, if more people listen to him, is far different than the way that the press is made him.
Yeah, that's wild. G-Dubs just shared out in the comment section. Although that only posted to Facebook, G-Dubs. Although that's where Jason is, so that should be fine. In the comments down there, that is the link for Rumble. I should actually just do that myself, huh?
Hold on.
I won't because I don't want to get my channel in trouble. I don't know if that's a thing, though they have worked together. Anyways, we got some comments before we hop on over. Riley said, "Hey boys, I'm here. I'm late, but I'm here." Haha. Yes, thank you for joining us, Riley. Jason said rumble.com. Absolutely. Rumble.com. Hickory, Hickory, capital TDAU. Just search it over there and you'll find us. Sean said, please shout out 5 times August in this video at the anti-mandate march. Maybe even play it. Yeah, absolutely awesome. I actually sent that to the boys the other night after I saw it and was like, hey, Brad's doing shit, and we now have him back on. We need to ask him about his trip to DC and how all that shit went, because that's super interesting. He was down at an anti-mandate march. He did a very beautiful rendition of his song, "The Silent War," and it was really pretty. He got introduced by JP Spears, I believe is the name of that guy. Awaken with JP is that guy's channel. He's a funny dude. I don't know if people know who I'm talking about or not.
I don't know why it's not showing up, but I posted it to YouTube as well.
No, it might not allow you to post comments or links in the comments.
Oh, I tried, guys.
Okay. Yeah, over there, rumble.com, Hickory TDAU. We'll see you over there. Without further ado, G-Dubs, anything you want to shout out?
I love you guys. Thank you for watching. And check us out on Rumble.
Collen, anything you got to plug before we get out of here?
No, next thing is next Hickory Host show.
February 12th.
February 12th. So if you guys don't have Valentine's Day plans yet, this would be a great way to celebrate the holiday. Bring your date. We got a great show. Hickory can tell you more about it.
Yep. And it's going to be fun. Pierre's going to be there. Katniss is going to be there. Possibly another burlesque performer. Very excited. Without further ado, that's all I got for this one. This has been episode 39 of the Drunken Under Quarantine show. Oh, we got one more comment. Good show, guys. Thank you, Nick. We'll see you over on the dark side. Please hop on over there. I'm up to a whole 4 subscribers and very proud about it over there. But anyways, without further ado, I'm, of course, Hickory the Drunken Under. Thank you all for joining me. If you are on Rumble now, you'll see the credits roll, and then we'll come back. I might be away for a second, running to grab a drink. But when the credits come back, we'll be here, and we will continue with a couple more topics. But for those of you who are on Facebook and YouTube, this is the end. We'll see you next time. I am, of course, Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming, imploring you all to stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Most importantly, it's trying times, stay sane. Try not to kill your family members. We'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.
And so I didn't get a chance to take my pants off.